Is your brain plastic? Well, I hope not. It shouldn't be. But there's something called brain plasticity that neuroscientists have been talking about quite a bit, and it's interesting how it really dovetails with what Paul tells us in Romans chapter 12, verse 2. He says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." And we're also told to be careful what we put into our mind, because out of it come the matters of the heart. So we've got to be very careful what we put into our mind, but can we change our mind? Can we actually change our brain? Well, neuroscience is saying, yeah. In fact, our brain is actually kind of plastic. Now, it's not the kind of plastic that you get with Tupperware, but it is plastic in the sense that it can be changed. It's called brain plasticity, also called neuroplasticity. Is an odd term for most people, with the word plastic causing images of Tupperware or saran wrap to pop into your head. However, brain plasticity is a common term used by neuroscientists referring to the brain's ability to change at any age for better or worse. This is why we be careful what we think about. And those images that Jesus said, don't lust after a woman because you've committed adultery with her already in your heart, is because you're actually making neurological pathways and you're changing the very shape of your brain. So we've got to be careful. As you would imagine, this flexibility plays an incredibly important role in your brain development or decline and in shaping our distinct personalities. The science of neuroplasticity and the brain is the basis of our clinically proven brain training exercises over here at Brain HQ. You can check that out if you want. How the brain changes. Brain plasticity science is the study of a physical process. Gray matter can actually shrink or thicken. Neural connections can be forged and refined or weakened and severed. Changes in the physical brain manifest as changes in our abilities. For example, each time we learn a new dance step, it reflects a change in our physical brains, that is, new wires or neurological pathways that give instructions to our bodies on how to perform the step. Each time we forget someone's name, it also reflects brain change. The wires that once connected to the memory have been degraded or even severed. As these examples show, changes in the brain can result in improved skills, a new dance step, or a weakening of skills, a forgotten name. Well, what is brain plasticity? You can listen here to a study. And often people think of childhood and young adulthood as a time of brain growth. The young person constantly learns new things, embarks on new adventures, shows an inquisitive and explorative spirit. Conversely, older adulthood is often seen as a time of cognitive decline, with people becoming more forgetful, less inclined to seek new experiences, more set in their ways. But what recent research has shown is that under the right circumstances, the power of brain plasticity can help adult minds grow. Although certain brain machinery tends to decline with age, there are steps people can take to tap into plasticity and reinvigorate that machinery. So this is really exciting stuff. Our brain is not set. It doesn't have to decline. It will to some extent, but we can actually take charge of that. And as we're told, to renew our mind. Very amazing stuff. Again, God is the author of the brain. He's the one who made it. He made it with all of its incredible neuroplasticity and all that cool stuff. The article goes on to say we just have to keep our brains fit with a series of targeted brain plasticity exercises. Similarly, people suffering from a variety of cognitive conditions, from schizophrenia to chemobrain, may be able to retrain their brains to healthier function. Well, that's true both in a physiological sense, but also in a spiritual sense. What we put into our brains very much becomes part of who they are, who we are. So we've got to be careful. One of the important findings in recent neuroplasticity research is the discovery of how closely our senses are connected to memory and cognition. Because of their interdependence, a weakness is often related to, or even the cause of, a weakness in the other. For example, we all know that Alzheimer's patients slowly lose their memories. One way this manifests is that they eat less food. Why? As it turns out, visual dis sorry that visual deficits are also part of Alzheimer's. People eat less because they can't see the food as well. and you can check out that as well. Another example is in normal age-related cognitive changes. As we grow older, we get more forgetful and distracted in large part because our brain does not process what we hear, see, and feel as well as we once did. The result is we just can't store images of our experiences clearly and so have trouble using them and recalling them later. Amazing stuff, how God has made us. We need to renew our minds. We can actually reshape our brain by thinking good thoughts and practicing good things and living in healthy steps. What we train our brain to do is what we're going to actually build in our neurological pathways. If we let it atrophy, then we'll begin to lose. If we continue to build, we continue to study, we continue to discover, we'll actually build up new brain cells. Exciting stuff. Till next time, God bless.